Welcome to History Today, Episode 10, a brief introduction to other Joliet historians.
This is just going to be a little discussion of some of the historians who have written excerpts about Joliet, and they're things that I refer to all the time when asked about Joliet. The first one, his name is George H. Woodruff. Now, there's a bunch of Woodruffs in Joliet, but this one was a historian. Of course, he was born in 1814. He came here in the summer of 1834. He wrote the early history of Joliet and Will County in 1874 and the history of Will County, Illinois in 1878. He wrote several other books, 15 Years Ago, or The Patriotism of Will County, A Contribution to the Early History of Joliet and Will County, The Biographical Sketch of George Washington, and 40 Years Ago. The second gentleman that we need to mention here is W. Stevens, William Wallace Stevens, 1832 to 1912. He's a 19th century historian, lawyer, and president of the Pioneer Association in Joliet. He wrote The Past and Present of Will County in 1907, which is a 2-volume set. Another person that wrote 2 volumes on the history of Joliet actually is August Maui. His book was published in 1928, and it's actually called The History of Will County, Illinois. But Joliet is a part of Will County, and therefore there's information about Joliet all throughout the book. There was a lady by the name of Jean Stout who, in 1966, wrote a book for 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade students. She was involved with the Will County Historical Society, and she wrote for their newsletter. I only recently found out that the book was written for grade school students, which was pretty interesting to me. One of my favorite historians' name is Dr. Robert Sterling. He wrote several books about the history of Joliet, the first one in 1986 called Joliet, A Pictorial History. He was a history instructor at JJC, and honestly, he was the best history teacher I ever had. And as I said, he wrote a number of books about Joliet, and they were mostly pictures and captions, but he did a great job on the basics of Joliet and Mount Joliet, and where we got the names from.
Check out these new and exciting programs coming soon to the Joliet Public Library. Senior Care Q&A with Healthcare Plus. Join Tricia Alvis from Healthcare Plus at our Ottawa Street branch on Monday, May 4th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for an informative session and questionnaire about Healthcare Plus and the services they offer to senior citizens. Then join us for an exciting game of bingo after the session. This event is for adults ages 60 and older. Registration is required. So Tough, Pet Sounds at 60. Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys' seminal 1966 masterpiece, is turning 60. Presenter Sean Courtney will be at our Ottawa Street branch on Saturday, May 16th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. to take you on an in-depth dive and a behind-the-scenes look at an album that defined a generation. This event is for adults only. Registration is required. Family Search Basics. Stop by our Black Road branch on Wednesday, May 20th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and learn how to create a family search account, recover a username or password, start building a family tree, and understand privacy rules. This event is for adults only. Registration is required. Full Throttle Fiction Book Club. Look alive, Pipsqueak. This isn't your grandmother's book club. This is action. This is adventure. This is a white-knuckle thrill ride that will have you screaming for your mama before you even know what hit you. This is Full Throttle Fiction. Join us once a month for the very best literature has to offer, available for pickup at your favorite JPL branch. Just be sure to leave your preconceived notions and your barf bag at home. The next meeting of the Full Throttle Fiction Book Club will be held on May 27th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., where we will discuss The Fall of Gondolin by J.R.R. Tolkien. This event will be held off-site at Maury's Table, 2360 Glenwood Avenue in Joliet, Illinois. This event is for adults only. Registration is required.
There's a couple of other books that were written. One's called Images of Joliet, and that was written by Marianne Wolfe in 2006, and Joliet by David Belden in 2008. They too are mostly pictures, but I love to look at pictures. We have a family, the Mogoski family, who Pat Mogoski was an author and historian, very into Victorian history. In 2009, he wrote Joliet First 35 Years. His son Seth was also a historian, and his son Sean is still a historian as well. And of course, we have 3 books that were written by groups of people. There's Where There's a Will, which was written by the 125th Anniversary Committee in 1961. Joliet Illustrated, which was published by the Daily Republican in 1897. And Joliet of Today, Pittsburgh of the West, which was written by the Will County Historical Society in 1906, and then republished again in 1985. So if you're looking for early history on Joliet, those are a few places that you can check. I also want to make mention today of a program that we're going to be having at the library on Saturday, April 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. It's sponsored by the Illinois Family Roots Pilot Project. It is a DNA test that you will take that day, and the results will be given to you that day as well. You can participate if you are of African American heritage, if you are an Illinois resident, and only while supplies last. First come, first served. So come on in for this free DNA test, and so we'll see you on Saturday, April 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. And now at the end of this podcast, I want to remember to thank the team that gets this podcast rolling. That includes Cash Mikos, who does all the recording and all the editing and makes this sound good. Leslie Rose, who's the Adult Services Manager, who actually approves the work that is being done. And Mallory Hewlett-Cantu, who actually does the posting on our Facebook page.
If you have any questions or concerns about the content of this podcast, please call Anneta Drilling, local history librarian, at 815-846-3112, or email her at adrilling@jolietlibrary.org. I'm Patrick Maloney, and I'll see you next time when history repeats itself.